Welcome back to Find My Wings. This is Jesse. I first want to say thank you so much for all the support. We've passed 30,000 views. We have 140 plus subscribers, which is pretty cool. Again, not as big as some of the big pages, but I appreciate you. I appreciate your likes, I appreciate your shares, and I appreciate you coming back here. Or if this is your first time, welcome to Find My Wings. This is Jesse. The best thing that you can do for me and this channel is if you like the content, please like, please subscribe, and please share. This is how we're gonna grow, and this is how we're gonna dictate the amount of effort and the energy that we put back into these videos. So thank you for being here. Please share, please like, and feel free to comment. I try to reply to basically every comment. So today, let's talk about my personal top 5 beginner mods for the Scion FR-S Subaru BRZ Toyota GT86 platform. Now this is a first run car, this is a Zenki car. This is a Scion FR-S 2016, 6-speed manual if you don't know it already. It's got some mods on it, so I'm going to talk through my top 5. So the brief summary here is that I'm going to talk about mods that should be good for anybody that has one of these cars on this platform, or really a lot of the similar cars to Fiesta STs, Focus STs, 370Zs, etc. A lot of these mods do pertain, but this is specific to this car and hopefully pretty general. Okay, so the very first mod here, and there's going to be a link up above to check out my video on installing this. It's actually really hard to see, but if we can get this in here, you can see that on this clutch there is a spring up here. And now that spring, traditionally from the factory, is really stiff and it's really hard to use. When I first started driving this car, I had issues putting this clutch pedal in. So every time you go to shift, throw in this clutch pedal, it's not a very far throw, but it is tight. It was really tight. And what that means is that every time that I'm coming off the clutch to try to feel where that engagement point is, it's really tough because all I can feel really is how hard this pedal is. It doesn't really have any give in it, it doesn't have any feedback, it's just not great. So these Mtec clutch springs solve that. To me, it was the #1 thing that made this car easier to shift. And if you want to learn about that, that link is right here. My video is pretty comprehensive about the install and the review, so take a look. Number 2. Now coming around to the back of the car here, the next thing on my list is actually the muffler. Now I have a video posted right above here that talks about why loud cars are good. Now this is a unique muffler, I have some videos on it on the channel, put them up here. This is a SuperTrapp WaveTech muffler, so as you can see there's plates in here. If you're familiar with motorcycles, you probably know what this means. If you add plates it gets louder, if you take them away it gets quieter, because each plate is actually representing the opening. Each plate has a hole in it, so more plates is more opening. Now this is great because this saved me about 17 pounds compared to the stock muffler, which is just up there on a shelf somewhere right now. And we simply just welded it in, and so it's basically an axle back muffler kit. So how this made the list is that when you're driving a manual car, it's helpful to really hear what the car is doing when you're shifting, accelerating, decelerating, or anything. Now this muffler is just loud enough. It's just under legal limit in Canada, so I'm not worried about the law or anything like that. But it's just perfect to hear what the motor is doing, and it saved me about 17 pounds. There's a lot of similar things out there. A Burke muffler delete will basically be this, but a little bit louder and raspier. Something like this is really cool if you can track it down, but it definitely makes my top 5 list by making the car a lot nicer to drive. Whatever you do, whether it's header back, axle back, muffler is a good thing to do to this car. Number 3 is this trunk divider. Now I'll put the video up here, so you can go click my review and unboxing of this trunk divider. It's really simple, it's a cheap, easy one to get from Amazon. What it does is it just connects up here, connects over here, and adds a divider. Now this is awesome, perfect for me. You can see this is dirty because we've actually been getting plants and doing daily living stuff with this car. I do need to vacuum it out right now, but this is perfect for me. It's just enough to fit everything that I need in it. It moves around a little bit, but nothing too bad, and it allows me to keep the back seat down here, which is exactly what I want to make this car even louder without breaking the law or doing anything crazy. This is cheap, this is simple, this is overlooked. There's other options, there's trunk dividers, there's other trunk storage mechanisms that you can use, but this one works really well for this car, and it's quite cheap to buy. So this is a top recommendation for anybody in any build. If you put stuff in your car, this thing will help you. Number 4 brings me back into the cabin. So I haven't driven a ton of manual cars, but it was notable that in this car, it felt really floppy on the shifter. And so you have a shift spring that goes back and forth. You also have a shift spring that goes left and right. Now Mtec, same people that make that clutch spring down here, also make shift spring kit. It's really easy to put in. You basically take out 2 bolts, pull out the old springs, put in the new springs, and it gives you this. Let's see if you can hear it. And so it's just more solid. It helps guide you. It feels a lot more gated. It knows that I'm in first. I'm putting it in a second. Third, it's strong. It's got a spring to really help you through the mechanisms. Now I feel like any car that's a manual, this is going to be a good thing to do. But if you're in an automatic, you can do a shift flash, you can do a shift kit that will help your cars tune, and really the computer of the car help you shift better, which might be equivalent to something like this. But this is more of a tactile feel that I wish they would have just done from the factory, but I'm sure there's lots of reasons why they didn't. Number 5, these tires. As you can see, we're still running the Michelin Primacy HP tires. These are the infamous Prius tires. Now, ultimately, I haven't done a different tire, so I can't talk about all the different tire options out there. Ultimately, one want to be going for a Pilot Sport 4S or an All-Season 4 from Michelin or an equivalent from another brand. They do seem pretty nice for this car if you're going to daily it, if you're going to drive it on the water, if you're going to drive it in the rain, if you're going to go through some country roads and stuff like that. You don't want to have too slick of a tire, but either way, these Econo tires, they squeal like heck when you really get them going. They don't have a lot of grip, and they're not great for lateral grip on the edge, and so they don't give you a lot of confidence. Now the rest of the car feels so tight and nice that these just feel odd. The counterpoint here is of course going to be that these tires are pretty cool. They let you slide the back end out with stock power. They let you get the car a little squirrely. They're nice and narrow, so they're not too bad. But I'd replace them if you plan on doing anything, any sport driving, any track driving, autocross, or if you just want to have more confidence in your car and your driving style. Super quickly, this phone holder is amazing. This is something else you should really consider. It goes on your quarter window here and it puts your phone exactly where you want it. That doesn't obstruct your view. It's one of the most handy phone mounts I've seen for this car. I also did my DIY one. The videos and all the links, of course, are going to be below for how I did this, but this is a magnetic mount. This is a magnetic mount, and it seems to be a perfect setup for this car. So those are my top 5 recommendations and a couple little extras at the end there. I want to hear from you. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there anything that I should consider doing to this car that I have missed in my personal experience or this video? Let me know. We appreciate any likes, comments, subscriptions. Again, this is Jesse with Finding My Wings. I hope everybody is happy and healthy out there. And we look forward to seeing you back here. We have a lot more content coming. I know we had a couple weeks off, but we're going to come back fast and hard. So I look forward to seeing you back here.